How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the Highly Intelligent Podcast. I am your host, Mally. And how's it going, everyone? I know it's been a little while here, but we're back, we're new, and we're a little improved. Webcam hasn't improved all too much, but that's probably the least important part of a podcast, right? It's all about the listening experience. And also, I'm trying to figure out a way that my hoodie would be comfortable, but also look good. It's not a good fusion, all right? And also, I keep on going in and out of focus, which will happen sometimes, okay? Maybe it's because I am AI and I'm not a real person, but we'll get into that. So, you might be wondering what the fuck happened. You know what I mean? Where were you these last 3 months, by the way? 3 months without an upload, 3 months without a podcast. And I've been streaming, man. I've been fucking streaming. I've been streaming my ass off. I've been growing my community. I've just been playing video games for people for entertainment. And this podcast thing, it was fun until it wasn't. Until I had to force myself to record these, and then it stopped becoming fun. So I was like, I'm gonna let go of that for now. You know what I mean? And but we're back. So we are so back, and I am just happy to say that welcome back to the Highly Intelligent Podcast. Such a nice thing to say after all this time. And I've had a lot of people tell me, "Hey, you got a good podcasting voice. You sound like somebody who might actually be on the radio." I don't really believe them, but at least my stuttering that okay. It's funny about that. I was about to say at least my stuttering has gotten a little bit better, but apparently not. And I actually know what got worse is my voice cracks got significantly worse. My voice cracks are way more often now, and they're way worse. So that's why I got the drink here. Now, hopefully, I'm not interrupted in the middle of this, even though if I am, I can just cut it out. So, yeah, where have I been these 3 months? And is there going to be a new schedule? What's going on? It used to be once every week, and I'm here to tell you that there is a new schedule, and I'm going to give you a reason for why there is a new schedule. And just before this begins, I want to say that this is going to be a rather short podcast just because, I changed the setup a little bit. I changed the location. And, this is just kind of to loop the people back into it. All 9 people, even though 70% of those accounts are mine, you're going to come back and you're going to enjoy. You're going to love this podcast, okay? This podcast is one of the greatest podcasts on the planet. You just don't know it yet. So allow me to explain what the new schedule is going to be. So I thought maybe an appropriate amount of time would be every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks for a new episode of the Highly Intelligent Podcast, and I will tell you why. Now, typically, I would record these every single week, and, it would be just fucking fine, whatever, talk about random bullshit, maybe talk about shit I've already talked about. That's kind of what I was doing beforehand, and I don't really want to do that, Repeat topics are not really something I'm endorsing, not something I want to do. So what's better than that is every 2 weeks, because I'll be honest with you guys, nothing goes on in my life, so having an episode every single week, if nothing goes on in my life, then every single week is going to be the exact same, because every single one of my days are the exact same. But give me every 2 weeks and stuff happens, Just 1 week is a little too short for my time frame and just how my life is, you know what I mean? Hold on, I'm going to take a little sip of water here. All right. So yeah, that's the new schedule every 2 weeks. Hopefully just so I can get these out and have them actually be interesting with no repeat topics, And actually here I can add a topic now that I'm thinking about it. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, there you go. That's it. That's all I need to put, okay? But so I'm structuring this as kind of how I was before, but hopefully a little bit more professionally. And I know at certain points I used to show off like what I was watching and whatnot. And I would do that, but the setup I'm in right now is just not good. If I had a separate PC all entirely for streaming, then this would be the easiest thing in the world. But I'm actually uploading a YouTube video on the monitor right next to that one. So it's kind of awkward. I'm recording this, uploading, streaming. It's like all of these things are mixed into one. Okay, guys, I'm going crazy in the paint here. Okay, I'm making sure my shit is good. I'm making sure I can capitalize on all the entertainment I can possibly put out there for people, because I don't know of anybody who listens to these, but eventually they will be listened to by internet historians, fucking lolcow experts. I don't know. But all I know is that I have to make this good. And it's kind of hard to do that when you're just blah, 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 repeat topics, all that bullshit. So we're really here, we're locking in, and a lot of saliva is constantly in my mouth. It is so weird. Okay. So, actually, one of these topics is something that's irrelevant to me right now, which is having a bad webcam, but I've already kind of explained that to you. And also, the webcam I was talking about before is another webcam that I was going to use for this podcast, but I decided not to use it because it was so bad. And let me say, this one might be fucking terrible. That other one, I can't even fucking begin to tell you how fucking trash that one is, okay? That one was actually terrible. I retired that one. It's over, okay? Now we have this one, which this one, maybe like a 6 out of 10 webcam, nowhere near 10. The other one, 4. We got those 2 points. Boom. We're up there. But yeah, that's that. Kind of a fucking useless topic, considering I wrote it down and now it doesn't even apply to what I'm talking about at all. But sure, that's a good topic point. Don't, I probably should have thought ahead, considering this is like a podcast and I'm going to be like talking to people like I'm going to be like actually talking about shit. Maybe the shit I'm talking about should like actually be relevant to the situation I'm in. No, I guess fucking not. You know what I mean? So, yeah, where have I been these last 3 months not releasing these podcasts? I have been streaming consistently. Can you guys fucking believe that? These last 3 months, I've been consistently streaming almost every single day. That's crazy. I know that's crazy, but it's true. It's so fucking true. I've been streaming consistently almost 3 months, probably even like 4 now, and it's all right. Things are going all right. It's streaming, it's a gamble. But I try, and I stream on TikTok. I made a few YouTube videos talking about how I hate TikTok and I'm moving to Twitch. No, I'm not moving to Twitch. Twitch is like, as bad as TikTok is, I will never succeed if I stream only on Twitch. So, TikTok it is. So if you guys want to, watch that, just follow me on TikTok at Malarax, and I'm sure you'll catch me live at some point. Probably 1 through 3 p.m. EST, I think. Afternoon, whatever afternoon is. You know what I mean? Okay. But yeah, I've been consistently streaming. Hold on. Wait. Oh, God, hold on. There's the okay. The setup is a little ripple through reality right there, but the setup is it's a work in progress. Okay, guys, a little rip in reality. We're back though. I just haven't gotten that one stapled to the wall yet. So the other curtain I had is kind of fucking with it, but all things considered, could be worse. But yeah, this streaming shit is kind of like I'm gaining. All right, let me talk to you from a fan perspective. So the camera's not really focusing. That's it's focusing on like the background, which it should not be doing. But like the background is in higher quality than I am. So it makes sense. But from a fan's perspective, I stream every single day, right? And I talk to all the people who chat with me, and I've been gaining followers, I have about 340 right now. I started at like 50. So that means I am making some progress here, which is nice, you have to have 50 followers to go live. So it's pretty cool. I got all those just from my posting, and the rest of them I got from living, from going live. I got my first 50 just from my posts, and the rest of them are from live streaming and having people enjoy what I do. And I'm actually going to talk about money here because I know not a lot of podcasters or just YouTubers or streamers in general do that, but I feel like for any other small streamer to compare yourself to me is probably like the best, because it tells you a statistic on how consistent you stream. And I am more consistent than 97% of all streamers on TikTok, which means I'm almost in the 1% of TikTokers when it comes to consistency. But the money aspect, no. You know what I mean? I think tally up all my money, I think I make like $1 a week or so. It's been shooting up a little bit more lately, like maybe $1.50 a week, which, progress is progress. Money is money. I love my fans. I love just being an entertainer. The money isn't really like the main thing, I just want to entertain the masses. That's kind of what I like to do. It's why I have these shows. It's why I have my live streaming. It's why I make videos when I want to make them so they don't feel rushed. You know what I mean? So that's just what I do. That's why I don't do anything consistently except for streaming, because I'm able to do that consistently. But the YouTube videos, no. I cannot make daily videos anymore. I just feel like the quality of them is just so shit, Like, I feel like if I were to make them daily like I used to, like, I was making, like, gaming videos and shit, which were good, but they weren't really edited, and a lot of people didn't watch them, Like, they might have gotten, like, 50 views, which, is still good, but for what I was pulling back then, it was alright. I was averaging, like, maybe 170, and 50 was not a good number for me. But nowadays 50 is fucking great. If I could get 50 on this podcast, that's only W's right there. You know what I mean? That's only straight fucking W's. And let me just correct the monitor to there you go. We're all good. And hold on, I just want to see if everything is even Stevens. Actually, I did not. Oh, broke the realism there for a little bit. Okay. There we go. I'm sorry, I just have to do this now. I definitely should have done this before stream, but OBS has this thing where it's not like zoomed. Like, I can't zoom out to see the whole fucking picture. Oh, wait, yes, I can. Wait a minute. Holy fucking shit, yes, I can. No way. Awesome. So now I am in the full center. Awesome. Appreciate that, OBS, for only showing me that now. But yeah. So I was talking about streaming and the money, and I was making decent money. At least for me, I think it's good. $1.50 a week is nothing terrible. It's fucking, for a beginner streamer who only has 300 followers, that's not bad. You know what I mean? And if I was streaming on Twitch, I would have $0 made. $0 made from streaming. And TikTok, it's just so much easier to access donations because of the gifting system they have, which Twitch doesn't even have a direct donation, except for bits. But bits are trash, and also they might not even do bits anymore. I haven't even heard of anybody donating bits in like 5 years. So that's, something. But TikTok, the gifts is right next to the fucking live section. It's just like, oh, you want to gift? Like, it encourages you to do it. Still, I do appreciate all my gifters. Shout out all my gifters and all my consistent viewers. I know at least 6 by name. So I have consistent viewers every single stream, which is nice. The progress I've made so far is amazing. The strides I've taken to improve my content, I feel like is finally paying off. And if you guys have seen my setup for stream, I have a pretty cool looking background too, which I feel like a lot of these new age streamers, they go for simple is better. I disagree. Moist Critical's current background right now? That shit is tough. How it has like everything in the background. It's got fucking Broly in the background. Like, I have a Broly in my background, but it's just super small, so it's like kind of hard to see. You know what I mean? But that's just how I have to do it, Like, I can't. Actually, I used to have a bigger Broly figurine, but I gave it to a friend. I might ask for it back, though, just because some shit's going on with the person who gave it to me, and it's a bad situation. But I might get it back eventually. But that's aside from the point. That's drama that you guys do not need to know. You know what I mean? All right. So, yeah, I've just been streaming and shit, Good money, at least in my opinion, a good following, and good consistency. But my capture card is still not that good. I still can only stream up to 60 frames. Same with my webcam. But I feel like my webcam isn't really like the worst, because there are worse webcams out there than the one I'm using, like the one I tried to use earlier. That one was fucking terrible, so. I almost just choked on that, by the way. I don't know how. I can feel it, though. All right. Let's talk about my job situation. That's going to be a good one. All right. So I actually talked about this earlier on stream. Only a little bit, though. I will go into further details here. So everybody asks me all the time, what's your job? You have a job outside streaming. You have a job outside YouTubing. You have a job outside podcasting. No, I don't. But I did. See, I used to work at this car wash, and I've talked about it in a video before. Not I briefly went over it just because it's like, I still know people who work there, so it's kind of awkward if they see this and hear this while I'm talking shit about it. But I used to work at a car wash that kind of sucked. You know what I mean? Like it was just hot, tan lines fucking terrible, and also, you know, the pay was shit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you here, right? Like the pay was, I mean, for my area, it was great, but I still couldn't afford a place on my own with the pay I was getting, even if I were to work a full 40 hours, maybe even fucking 50. You know, that's just how it was. Every single paycheck was like $500, and that's not, you can't live off that if rent comes around every month. You know what I mean? Like you'd barely be able to make rent. You'd have $500 in your pocket after rent, but that includes if you don't spend a dime on anything except for rent until it comes. Which wouldn't happen. You need to fucking eat, okay? You can't eat once a month. You're not a fucking turtle, you know? So it's just, the money just, it was good for the area, but it wasn't good enough to stay and deal with the bullshit. Not to mention, I got dealt a bad hand. I kind of had like a situation happen where me and one of the people were not getting along. It was a whole fucking thing, you know what I mean? But that kind of solved itself without me having to really do anything. But I quit just because I was like, this job is fucking stupid. I just want to, I like, if I was gonna work and be a fucking, I don't know, not to say anything bad about people who work, but I think I would rather die than fucking do that shit the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like that's why I went full into streaming, full into podcasting, full into YouTube videos, because that's my dream. And I would rather die being a bum but doing my dream than being a bum working at a car wash. You know what I mean? So I think I would rather, try to find the glory I've been looking for my whole life rather than get ran over by an old lady who doesn't know how to put her car in neutral. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what happened with that whole situation. Which, not having a job does make talking to people a little weird. Especially like romantically. Not that I fucking talk to anybody romantically, but you know what I mean. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, what do you do? I'm a fucking social media manager. By that I mean I post and delete my own clips. Isn't that fucking awesome? But that's what I tell people, by the way. I'm not even joking about that. That's just what I fucking tell them. Okay. Which, getting into the next topic here, I'm potentially making Tinder 4. Now, if you guys know, the most popular videos on my YouTube channel are Tinder videos, which for some fucking reason, and it's not exclusively Tinder, but I do use their logo a lot. It's like dating apps in general. I'm thinking about making a fourth one because views are low, and also I haven't made a video in a month, so why not come back with a banger? I've just been so busy streaming and shit, I haven't really been focusing on YouTube, which is so weird because my video came out a month ago, but I made the video a day after Steel Ball Run came out, which means Steel Ball Run episode 1 is already a month long, and there's no episode 2. Yeah, awesome. Fucking lit, bro. Awesome. Which actually, fuck it. Sorry. Okay, there. Added a topic to talk about later. You see, I'm pretty slick with that. No, but for real, my last video was a month ago, and I was like, dude, it's been so long now, I gotta come out with a banger, you know what I mean? Like, my last video, Still Ball Run, the one before that, I fucking hate TikTok. TikTok is evil. But, here I am streaming on TikTok every single day, which someone probably at HQ saw that video and shadow banned me, because a lot of people say I am shadow banned, but I don't really believe them, Like, okay, there's the one time where I actually was, where you could look up Malarax and I would not show up. But that went away after a week of me not posting, and I just went to Twitch for a week. So whenever you guys don't see me on TikTok, I'm on Twitch, probably because I got banned or shadow banned or restricted for something, Which, the restrictions on TikTok are fucking stupid, bro. I was playing Apex, and I told Horizon she's a fucking idiot, and I got banned for hate and harassment for 10 minutes, which means 0 people would be recommended my live. Which, as a live streamer, 10 minutes is like kind of a long time because my lives go to like an hour to an hour 30 to 2 hours. usually in that span. So 10 minutes is like a decent chunk of it. So I don't really understand why, like, they changed their guidelines. I know that recently they changed their guidelines. Somebody new bought it or something, and that's just kind of what they did. I don't really have a choice over the matter, but that's just what happened. Uh, I got banned one time for talking about starting an OnlyFans and eating somebody's ass out for $20, which, as hilarious as that is, I could understand banning that one's a little vulgar, you know what I mean? But calling Horizon an idiot, a dumbass, a fucking idiot, that's just true. If you play Horizon, like, what the fuck do you even got going on, dude? Fucking Irish, redheaded, gravity person, like, I don't know. I'm not the best at Apex, but I know a good fucking character, and that is not a good character. That is not a fucking good character. I'm gonna make that noise because it's better than white noise, or static noise. Also, do you hear my PC? If my microphone is picking that up, I am so fucking sorry. Nothing I can do about that though. And so that's the Tinder 4 shit. Might make it, might not. I don't know. Might let main channel die, cause Malarax is just my name. The YouTube channel, like, I'm not a I'm I don't want to call myself a content creator, or actually no, I don't want to call myself an influencer because that's fucking stupid. Content creator, I'm kind of iffy on. YouTuber just does not describe me. I'm not a YouTuber really much anymore. I'm a streamer, YouTuber, podcaster. So what I think would be better to call myself is an entertainer. I'm an entertainer. That's what I tell everybody. I want to get into entertainment. I want to be an entertainer, Like, I want to make people laugh, or I just want to make people entertained when they listen to my shit. You know what I mean? Like, right now, you don't have to laugh, but you can still be entertained without laughing. That's what anything is. If you like watching something and just because you don't laugh at it doesn't mean you're not entertained, Entertainers are not exclusive to comics, So I feel like that's probably a better word for me rather than influencer, streamer, podcaster, and content creator, because I don't give a shit about any of that. I just want to make people enjoy themselves, I want to engage people. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the naming there, which is kind of like a new thing I've been doing. I've been like, okay, what can I call myself to kind of bring me out of the norm? Because I don't feel like I'm in the norm, Like, I see other streamers, I'm like, that's not me, And I see these streamers, and I understand you have to be super like high octane all the time to like keep viewer engagement and whatnot, because a lot of the people who view you will be children. But I personally don't feel like that's necessary. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe just my personality alone will be able to rope people in. Not to, hate on anybody who's super loud for the sake of entertainment. I understand that. I'm loud sometimes, but I'm not deliberately loud, Like, whenever I scream into the microphone, sure, it will be like for entertainment, it will be to make somebody laugh, but that's not all the time. I'm not screaming into microphones constantly, okay? I haven't done that since I played Siege, which is like a week or two ago. I actually don't remember. Maybe low key, I might have not played Siege in like a month, maybe. Now that I'm thinking, when did the Snake update come out? That's the last time I played. Maybe on stream even was the last time I played. I have no idea. But yeah, somebody who describes that, someone who doesn't necessarily make you laugh, but somebody still who is engaging, is okay. I know I'm going to get a lot of drama for this. This guy is very controversial, but I've been a fan of him since I was like fucking 9 years old, and I'm 19. So H3H3, I've talked about him before on the podcast. I've talked about how maybe I would even want to be a part of that, but no disrespect to the H3H3 crew, but I used to be like, dude, it'd be so fun to be a part of that crew. But the problem is, the main character is still Ethan at the end of the day. The crew is just the crew. I want to be the main character, so I definitely don't want to be, a member of the H3 podcast. I want to be the main thing, which means it wouldn't be the H3 podcast anymore. So, welcome to the Highly Fucking Intelligent Podcast, everybody. Name still not permanent. Don't really know what else to call it. Highly Intelligent Podcast is fucking hilarious, though. It's fucking smart. I think it's a good name. But something like H3, it's like so classic. Well, what would mine be? Mally Podcast? Like that just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like I would not call myself the Mally Podcast. I don't know what I would call myself, but definitely not the Mally Podcast. You know, just doesn't feel right. You know, it doesn't roll off the tongue like the Highly Intelligent Podcast. There's a podcast that's called like Intelligent People or Beings, but the Highly Intelligent Podcast, that's just fucking genius. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, I still like H3 and all that, and he's a prime example of somebody who doesn't necessarily make me laugh. I think I don't want to be rude here, but I do think he thinks he's a little funnier than what he is. You know, we can all admit that. But I think his beef with iDubbbz is very entertaining. You know, and some of the stuff is funny. You know, some of the stuff is funny, like the bagel and whatnot, and you know, I'm not really like an active live viewer, but just going back and recapping all the Ian and Anissa stuff is very entertaining. And hopefully this doesn't bring me into any dramas in the future. Uh, but considering the nature of H3, it probably fucking will, to be honest with you. So to offset that, I like the Gobcast, you know, Goblin's podcast, or Crackheads, his other podcast with Kyle. I like that one. That one's pretty good. And I know as a small podcaster, to recommend other better podcasts might not be the best idea, but fuck it. You know, who's actually going to see this when I upload it? Probably no one. You know what I mean? So I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. You know, it's my podcast, and I feel like a fucking like a pro right now. Just take a look at the setup right now. I got my laptop, my microphone, and my cup, bruh. That I take sips from every 5 or so minutes because my mouth gets super watery or super dry. Whenever I'm talking just crazy like this, it's usually watery. But sometimes it's dry. Also, my back's hurting a little bit. That's kind of weird. Maybe I have to sit back and just do this. Hey. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking, okay? I need to lock in. I need to lock this podcast in, okay? No more fucking around, okay? Lock in. Also, the music for Highly Intelligent Podcast might be changing again. I don't know. The music is kind of like, you know what I mean? It's kind of, like, I don't really know. Like, I like it. Sorry about that, but I'm not really sure I'm a big fan of it being the podcast music. It's just, I want something iconic, you know what I mean? But I just can't think of it. You know, I can't think of what music to make that would be podcast sounding. Like I tried the lo-fi outro, I tried just the normal like hip hop outro. It's just I don't know. I don't know what fits this podcast. Maybe something elegant, like with pianos and trombones and shit. That could low-key work. Now that I'm thinking about it, that could low-key be it because it's highly intelligent to like all that music stuff. You know what I mean? J.K. Simmons, Whiplash. I watched that and it's pretty funny. After seeing all the memes, that I mean, it's a good movie, but that shit's fucking hilarious, dude. The only reason I mention that is because trombones, highly intelligent podcast music, trombones, Whiplash, J.K. Simmons, not quite my tempo, you know, shit like that. But sorry, you know, sorry about that. All right, the next topic we have here, amazing transition, I know, is my friend is now streaming. And I guess calling them my friend would probably get me into more controversy. So I will just flat out say his name, Acne Peoples. He is streaming now on TikTok. Make sure to go and follow him. I don't know his schedule. I think he just kind of freestyles like I do, kind of. So shout out him. He started streaming, you know. And we've played a game together while we were both streaming, but we didn't talk to each other. Neither of our audiences could hear one another. It was just a thing, you know. It was like a one-time thing. I thought we were going to join a Discord call, but then he was talking in game chat, I noticed, but none of my viewers can hear him when he's talking in game chat, but he has this thing to where you plug it in and you can hear, which I don't have. But I noticed that like right at the end, I was like, oh shit, he's probably been wanting to talk to me through game chat, huh? I didn't even fucking notice. Well, my bad. But yeah, you know, that's gonna be interesting. So the more the merrier, I guess, you know. That's one like big, what is it? instead of one person streaming and blowing up, it's two people trying to stream and blowing up. So that's the odds of my friend group taking off are raised. That was very hard to say for some reason. I had a word and then I forgot the word and it fucked up the whole train of thought, dude. That was like actually fucking embarrassing. Like no, I'm not even fucking joking. But yeah, go make sure to go follow him on TikTok, Acne Peoples. I don't know if there's an S at the end, but make sure to check that out. I'm sure at some point he will change his profile picture, but just look for the profile picture of a random model. I'm sure that's probably what his is going to be at some point or another. It typically is, and he's actually the same one who got me into Jujutsu Kaisen. You know what I mean? Jujutsu Kaisen. And, I've already talked about these on the podcast, but I haven't talked about season 3 yet because it's over now. And yeah, I mean, season 3 is good. It's well animated. The action's good. The story is all right. You know what I mean? I watched it in Japanese, and it's a little harder for me to follow in Japanese than it is English. But that's because I was watching it when the episodes came out and the dub wasn't released yet. But it is true what they say that it is more of an action anime than a story anime. I will say that because a lot of people I know just don't give a shit, They're just like, oh, it looks cool, which it is true. It looks fucking amazing, But as for the story of the Culling Games and whatnot, I know it's not over, but I don't really understand the story. They're looking for an angel or something to free Gojo, and they have to do this through the Culling Games because he started the Culling Games. Something, something, something. These guys fight, all this shit. And Yuta is Kakashi's copy, is a copy of Kakashi. A copy ninja. That's interesting, I guess. You know what I mean? Still, I had a few people explain in my last podcast how Yuta kept his powers. They said it was more like a Shikigami thing, which I guess is a reasonable explanation. And they might have explained it during the anime, but again, sub is not really my thing. It never has been my thing. So, but that actually takes us to the last anime topic and general topic, which is Steel Ball Run. Now, last video on the main channel, Malarax, go follow, was a Steel Ball Run breakdown of episode 1. And I said I mostly liked it. I feel like they left out a few story elements, which they did. And I was not a fan of the CGI. That was like the main thing. The main complaint was the CGI was terrible. I did not like it. It did not look good. It was ugly. It was very ugly. I won't get back into it because I've already made an entire video on it. But, one thing I didn't discuss really is the scheduling. Now, every single fucking person and their mother was like, yeah, dude, it's gonna be fucking weekly. But I was like, you guys don't know JoJo's. It's not gonna be fucking weekly. And my friend was like, nah, dude, it's weekly. I was like, no, it's not. You watched JoJo's back then. It was not weekly back then. It will not be weekly now. And what they're doing is they're doing the batch releases, but they're releasing the batches weekly. So that means that was batch 1, which is just one episode, the intro. So batch 2 is going to take about a few months to animate, and they're going to release the batch 2 weekly. And then once that batch is done, it's another few fucking months until they release the next batch weekly. Now, that is a terrible format, and that is exactly how you would kill something like an anime, because now all the hype is gone, all the memes about the hype are gone, all the memes about the show not coming are gone. It's a whole shit show, okay? As somebody who's been waiting for this for a long time, it's fucking not cool, you know what I mean? It's not a great thing that's happening in my community. So that's really all I have to say about that, to be honest with you. And well, with that comes the end of the Highly Intelligent Podcast episode. I probably should have checked before I started, huh? I'm assuming 20. Highly Intelligent Podcast 20. I'm pretty sure, guys, because 19 sounds like it was low-key already released. Hold on, wait, guys, please don't do this to me. I'm gonna be fast, okay? I promise. Okay. 21. Highly Intelligent Podcast episode 21, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys liked it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry, I'm not a YouTuber anymore. I'm a streamer, okay? I'll just be like, y'all, make sure to follow, but make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to share the podcast, rate it 5 stars if you're listening on Spotify. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.